mountains and through the Valley of Flame, then on to the kingdom's boundary. It was rumoured that others had found safety in the kingdom of Mahar to the south, where age-old enmities had been put aside in the face of the common terror. The mother elbowed her way through the press, sensing more than seeing that a fight had erupted to the north. Ancient perceptions, buried under civilized training, rose to the surface to aid her and the child. Along with them rose ancient hungers, appetites for the flesh of something more substantial than the lesser animals the king had decreed would form their sustenance. Soon the people would become like the mad ones, struggling for survival by devouring one another. She sensed that several threats were converging, threats that would soon turn into feeding frenzies, and she knew that to be caught up in one of those would be her doom or the child's, or both. She chanced a brief look back, and, as she had suspected, claws were being wielded and fangs were dripping blood. A feeding frenzy would soon sweep through this area of the city, and even with her child's life in the balance, she could easily be caught up in it. Neither of them had fed in a very long time. A few guardians, not detailed to delay the onslaught, were quickly intervening, their flaming swords rising and falling, dispatching not only those involved in the nascent frenzy, but also those unfortunate enough to be slow in departing. She turned and fled. Once, like so many who lived in the city, she had marvelled at the splendour of the king and his guardians. They were magnificent in their armour, their terrible beauty a source of fear and breeding lust. It was forbidden for a guardian to breed, but that didn't still a young female's desire when they flew by, their massive red wings unfurled, eyes blazing as they sought out any source of discord which might break the king's peace. Now she wondered how anyone could gaze back at the all-consuming darkness and imagine any part of the realm enjoying the king's peace. She hurried on to join a press of frightened citizens making their way through the Sunrise Gate, the eastern entrance to the king's city. The jostling and bumping threatened to turn into fights, and fights would turn into frenzies. She felt her fear and rage rising. Glancing down at the child, she found its eyes studying her face. It seemed to see more, no more, than a baby should. The streets running eastward were becoming ever more crowded as others sought to put as much distance between themselves and the coming final end. She turned down a back alley, running past two males who appeared to be on the verge of conflict, the energy generated by one's mounting rage acting like a beacon to others nearby. Within minutes another melee would erupt, drawing the attention of the guardians, and then yet more lives would be lost. Part of her wondered, as she ducked around a corner, if there was any point in trying to maintain order in the face of the final end anyway, especially now that the king was gone. Those guardians left behind were attempting to keep the peace, but to what end? Everyone lived and died by the king's edict. His word was law, which was how it was and always had been. Thus had the kingdom of Dahun flourished through many endurances, and existence was as it should be. The people thrived, at peace with the other kingdoms, safe from the predations of the savage ones and the mad ones beyond. But now he was gone. She found herself assailed by a rising hopelessness, an alien emotion for which she had no name. Suddenly she wondered why she should go on, whether there was anything to gain by it. And then her child stirred against her, and she knew the answer. The child was hungry, and so was she. She spoke her own name. Laris, as if she wished her child to remember it. So much left undone, she thought as she hurried on.